Welcome students to the demonstration on the dural folds. As we all of you know, cranial cavity, it is the highest placed cavity in the body and it is consisting of the brain covered by the meninges, 12 pairs of the cranial nerves, 4 petrosal nerves, internal carotid artery and the vertebral artery. Today's topic of demonstration is the dural folds. The cranial dura mater, it is consisting of the outer endosteal layer and inner meningeal layer. So these are the two layers to the dura mater. Dura mater, it is the toughest, outermost and the thickest covering. So it is called as, meaning of dura is nothing but the heart and mater is called as the mother. So dura mater is having two layers, outer endosteal layer and inner meningeal layer. At all places these two layers are fused with each other except where there is the location for the dural venous sinuses. So dural venous sinuses, these are the endothelial lining venous spaces whose walls are formed by the dura mater, that we will see. So the meningeal layer of the dura mater, it is folded on itself to form a partition which is called as the dural folds. So here in this specimen, at this part the two folds are fused with each other. At the location of the dural venous sinuses, these two folds are separated to occupy this dural venous sinus, and here where it forms a partition, at that part only the meningeal layer of the dura mater is present. So meningeal layer of the dura mater folded on itself to form a partition which is called as the dural folds. So in cranial cavity, total such 4 folds are present. One large sickle shaped fold of the dura mater is called as the falx cerebri. A small sickle shaped fold of the dura mater here is called as the falx cerebelli. One tent shaped fold of the dura mater, it is called as the tentorium cerebelli. And the fourth fold, which is the circular one, which forms the roof over the hypophyseal fossa, is called as the diaphragma celli. So this cranial cavity is divided into certain compartments by the presence of these 4 folds. We will see each one by one. This falx cerebri, it is the large sickle shaped fold of the dura mater who is having anterior end which is narrow, and this is attached to crista galli. This is the crista galli present at the anterior cranial fossa. The falx cerebri, it is consisting of the broad posterior end. So this broad posterior end, it is resting on the upper surface of this tentorium cerebellar. This is the broad posterior end. The falx cerebri, it is having two margins. Outer convex is the attached margin, whose margins they are attached to the lips of the sagittal sulcus. It is having lower concave margin which is called as the free margin. It is having two surfaces. So this falx cerebri, it is the partition present at the median longitudinal fissure which separates the two lobes of the cerebral hemisphere. So these two surfaces corresponds with the corresponding medial surface of the cerebral hemisphere. At the falx cerebri is the location for the lodgement of the 3 dural venous sinuses. In our body, total 23 venous sinuses are present, out of which 8 are paired one and 7 are unpaired one. So 3 unpaired venous sinuses are present in relation with this falx cerebri. At the convex margin is the location or the lodgement of the superior sagittal dural venous sinus. In the posterior 2/3 part of the lower free margin is the location for the inferior sagittal sinus. And at the broad posterior end of this falx cerebri is the location for the straight sinus. So this is the straight sinus. Straight sinus, it is formed by the union of the inferior sagittal sinus and the great cerebral vein unites to form a straight sinus which occupies the broad posterior end of the falx cerebri at the junction of this broad end and the superior surface of the tentorium cerebellar. So in this superior sagittal sinus, we can see here the openings of the superior cerebral veins which get open as a tributaries into the superior sagittal sinus. So this is about the falx cerebri. The tentorium cerebelli. This is the tent-shaped dural fold which divides cranial cavity broadly into the supratentorial part, and the part situated below to the tentorium cerebelli is called as the infratentorial part. The infratentorial part is nothing but the posterior cranial fossa. This tentorium cerebelli, it is again having free margin which is a U-shaped one, and this is the attached margin who is having anterolateral boundary and the posterolateral boundary. So this free margin, it is a U-shaped, it is attached to the anterior clinoid process. So this is the anterior clinoid process where the anterior end of the free end is attached. It encloses the tentorial notch and it encloses the midbrain. The anterolateral attached margin, it is attached to the posterior clinoid process, superior border of petrous part of the temporal bone. The posterolateral boundary, it is attached to lips of the transverse sulcus. So I will show you on the bony model. This is the posterior clinoid process, superior border of petrous part of the temporal bone, and these are the two lips of the transverse sulcus. So this forms the anterolateral boundary, posterolateral boundary of the attached margin of the tentorium cerebellar. This tentorium cerebellar, it is having two surfaces. Upper one is the superior surface and the lower one is the inferior surface. On the superior surface, there is the attachment of the broad end of the falx cerebri. Whereas on the inferior surface, in its posterior part, is the attachment for the small sickle-shaped fold of the dura mater, which is called as the falx cerebellar. So it is attached only at its posterior part of the inferior surface. So in the tentorium cerebellar is the lodgement for paired sinuses. At the anterolateral part of this tentorium cerebellar is the location for the superior petrosal sinus. At the posterolateral part of the attached margin of the tentorium cerebellar is the location for the transverse sulcus. So this is the transverse sinus. Generally, the superior sagittal sinus, it is continuous with the right transverse sinus, whereas the inferior sagittal sinus, it is continuous with the straight sinus, and this straight sinus will continues as a left transverse sinus. The transverse sinus later on continues as the sigmoid sinus, which ultimately drains into the superior bulb of the internal jugular vein. The third fold of the dura mater is the small sickle-shaped fold of the dura mater, which is called as the falx cerebellar. So it is present at the posterior aspect of the inferior surface of the tentorium cerebellar. It is having broad end which is attached at the tentorium cerebellar, and the apex, it is directed downward. Near to the foramen magnum, it bifurcates and its margins get lost in the margins of the foramen magnum. So here at the internal occipital crest is the location for the falx cerebellar. Broad end is attached at the upper part, and the apex, it is situated below, which splits into two parts, and its margins get lost in the margins of the foramen magnum. So it is having anterior free margin. This is the free margin of the falx cerebellar, and this is the attached margin of the falx cerebellar, where there is the lodgement of the occipital sinus. So this occipital sinus, the transverse sinus on both sides, here the occipital sinus is present, the transverse sinus on both sides, and this is the superior sagittal sinus. So see here, superior sagittal sinus is continuous with this right transverse sinus, whereas the straight sinus, which is formed by the inferior sagittal sinus and the great cerebral vein, is continuous with the left transverse sinus. So this is the point where the confluence of the dural venous sinuses is present, which is formed by the union of the superior sagittal sinus, two transverse sinus on either side, and the occipital sinus. And this confluence of the venous sinuses is present at the internal occipital protuberance. So it is related with this side. The fourth dural fold, it is called as the diaphragma cellae. So this diaphragma cellae, it is a small circular fold of the dura mater which forms the roof of the hypophyseal fossa. So it is attached anteriorly with the diaphragma cellae, posteriorly it is attached to the tuberculum cellae, and it forms a roof over the hypophyseal fossa. At the middle, it is having central aperture through which the stalk of the pituitary gland passes. So these are the four folds because of which the cranial cavity, it is divided into certain compartments. I will show you only the locations of this paired and the unpaired dural venous sinuses. Unpaired venous sinuses, all of you know, these are the superior sagittal sinus, inferior sagittal sinus, which continues as the straight sinus, this occipital sinus, here the occipital sinus, then a sinus which connects the two cavernous sinuses. These are the anterior and the posterior intercavernous sinus, and the basilar plexus of the veins, which are related with the clivus. The paired venous sinuses, these are the spinoparietal sinus present in the dural folds related with this area, spinoparietal sinus. The cavernous sinus present one on either side of the body of the sphenoid bone in the middle cranial fossa, and these are the large dural venous sinuses. We already seen in the first video in detail about the cavernous sinuses. The location for the superior petrosal sinus, it is located in the anterolateral attached margin of the tentorium cerebelli, which is related with the superior border of the petrous part of temporal bone. The transverse sinus, it is located at the posterolateral attached boundary of the tentorium cerebelli, and this area is related with the transverse sulcus, right transverse sulcus and left transverse sulcus. So see here, the right transverse sulcus, it is larger as compared to the left transverse sulcus. The transverse sinus, it is continuous as the sigmoid sinus, which is located in this sigmoid sulcus, which is S-shaped. So the name is the sigmoid sinus, and it will continuous with the superior bulb of the internal jugular vein, which is the content of this jugular foramen. So these are the locations of the paired as well as the unpaired dural venous sinuses. Thank you.